Now the spring is here. Don't get me wrong, I love winters too, but my Indian skin likes the warmth. Here we are in the first few weeks of spring, but we have a lot of work to do. I tell you why a lot of work? Because shift has to be adjusted. Shift in our body physiology. As we know, the circadian flow is changing. The chronobiology is changing as the seasons undergo shift. In Southern California, unlike other part of the country, we had an unusually warm winter. But other parts of the country, it was so cold. I think some of you are still coming out of this cold, but you can have an early head start by knowing what to do in spring season and how to adjust physically and mentally to help your body to transit this seasonal change effectively and energetically. That's what is important for us. Simple as this, you have to open your eyes and look around. That's what the greatest sages did. They just opened their eyes and looked around. What is Mother Nature doing? What is she producing? What is she putting out there when she is going around the sun with different amounts of light and heat and temperature being exposed to her? All the dormant things under the ground are now getting stimulated by the heat, by the sun. And when they get stimulated, they get excited, and they excite and they sprout. So all these new sprouts are what nature is providing us. Now, not all sprouts are good. We need to be really careful in choosing. For example, you may say, oh, I'm sprouting peas, I'm sprouting beans. We are talking about sprouts that are coming from leaves, some tubers, asparagus, onions, and leeks, which are just coming out now in the season. Some of the ones which are dug from the earth because they are now storing treasury of good stuff inside. Before they sprout, they have to get all those active nutrients, powerful nutrients into them. So it's the time for us to look into roots like turmeric and ginger. And the most important thing is the taste. Pungents, astringents, and some bitters and sours. That's what we are going to do in this season. When we look at spring season, not only the temperature outside, whatever is happening on the skin is reflected on our gut. This is the beautiful concept of Ayurveda. Cold outside, hot inside. Hot outside, cold inside. So that's how the body reciprocates to this change. The gut needs utmost support at this time of the year. You have to bring in that fiber because your gut is having some issues in mobilizing itself because a lot of thick secretions are coating your gut right now as we speak. And these need to be scrubbed by some nice fiber inside. So that's what we are going to do. And we are going to also open up those gastric juices, the stomach juices, the duodenal or the intestinal juices, gallbladder, pancreatic juice. These are very important for us because when there is phlegm or mucus in the spring season, that's what is happening. As I said, the thick coating, if it is not moved out of the body, then what you see is sluggishness in our enzymes that are secreted in the body, the hydrochloric acid that's secreted in our gut, and then various varieties of the hormones that the gut secretes. All of that gets a little, sluggish. And that's what I'm going to teach. I'm getting to this beautiful few recipes that I have here. And I will talk about the ingredients first because you don't need to know why these ingredients, right? So let me talk about a quick appetizer that you can do for yourself. Now is the time to eat raw turmeric. Throughout the year in Ayurveda we have powdered turmeric, but now in spring is a time to eat these golden roots which look amazing. Look at the color of it. It just shows how much of sun it has in it because we need the sun's, vibration, warmth to go inside and then get into our gut and then stimulate the gut. Raw turmeric is an excellent gut stimulator. It is warm. That's why we don't eat all year long. Come summer, we have to reduce this. Late spring and early summer, you can use this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a quick remedy out of this. So you can just grate it, put some, like black pepper, lime juice and salt and make it into a small, when you take wasabi, when you have a sushi, you have a small club clump of wasabi. It's like that. You have to grate it, you put it all on the side. So as you're eating, let's say you're eating a soup and you take a small pinch of it and then eat it. So what does it do? It is now going to help to break through that mucus that is in the gut. What if you don't break down this mucus and say, oh, this is too cumbersome, I have a very busy life? What happens is you will look at and say, why is my nose suddenly getting clogged? Why is my bowel sluggish? Why am I waking up in the night with some sudden cough? That is because you have too much of cold in you and you need to introduce this heat inside. Same thing with the ginger too. Ginger is also having this yellowish golden hue. All of that is to stimulate and break down your sluggishness. You can also use leek and then green onions or spring onions. Why these two? Because they're also spring, and leaves are the best things to use in spring season because that's what comes out first in the nature. I love to eat just raw green onions, like if I'm eating, let's say, a flatbread with some vegetable. Even if I do a avocado sandwich. Avocados are not the greatest in this season, but if you do it, you have to cut this into small pieces and spread it on. You know, if you go to Lebanese restaurants, if you go to Mediterranean restaurants, you will see people eat this raw, like they're eating pita bread. Why is that? It's because its pungentness. Another secret is the aroma. Spring is the season for aromas. Turmeric, amazing aroma. Ginger aroma. And later I'm going to talk about mango, raw mango aroma. Aromas play a very important role in spring season. You have to transform this stagnation. So anything aromatic, you may know, like if you have a congestion, what do? You put some, like menthol or eucalyptus and you breathe it. What happens? It clears it up. Simple as that. So aromatic substances, aromatic in the sense something that is herbic. It may be mint, it may be chives, oregano, thyme, bring them on. This is the time to break down that. Otherwise, your gut bacteria are going to change. Because of all of this excess of mucus that is there in the gut, what happens is the bacteria will start eating this because it's abundant, unused, not eliminated. So what happens? The gut says, okay, I have this stagnation. It just allows the gut bacteria to go crazy. And this gut bacteria, which are somewhat helping us, will go in party mode. You have all kinds of abnormal gut signaling and gas and bloating, all of this. Use these secretive, pungent, aromatic herbs that you want to use. Spring is a season for pungentness, roots that are pungent, leaves that are pungent and aromatic. Everything needs to be cleaned, washed properly before you eat. The astringent taste, oh, by the way, I also love eating garlic in this season. It's an antibacterial, as you all know, antifungal, because whenever a lot of mucus is there in the gut, bacteria and funguses have to be controlled. So please bring on this garlic. But don't eat too much of it and too raw. As you get into summer, it makes you irritable. So Ayurveda says you can eat garlic, but it needs to be either cooked or in small amounts raw. So I'm going to show you raw as well, how to. This is astringent. You can also go for the leaves. Almost in my garden too, the kale is almost what was gone. Now I see new leaves coming out. So fresh tender leaves you can pick, and then you can use kale, chard, Swiss chard. You can also choose herbs that can be like parsley. These can be used as well. Think about aromatic substances in this spring season. Can I use tomatoes? Yes, they are coming in season. Can I use some lime or lemon or raw mango which is in season? Anything that is a little sour is to stimulate the stomach and intestines and pancreas to slightly release their stored acid, stored enzymes, and stored mucus too, the new mucus that needs to be secreted. All of that is done by sour taste. We also have to think about skin, as I said. In spring, you want to have something to scrub your face as well. Skin that is not breathing in spring is the skin that will have breakouts in summer. So it is the opportunity for you to clear that skin pores and make them open so that they can sweat and let go their stagnation. Things like face mask, face scrub that have some ingredients that are like, lodra. If you look at it, it's very coarse and rough, which is meant for creating that scrubbing effect on the skin. So that we are going to use this. Spring is a season of cleanse, but you need to know exactly what cleanse your body needs, because Ayurveda is all about that personalization. Without personalizing, you cannot generalize and say, oh, I'm doing a cleanse, everybody is doing a cleanse. No, your cleanse is personal and atomic to you. Now, why spring is the time for masks, especially Atreya's healthy mask is made from some unique ingredient. It is this herb called Lodra, Simplucus racemosus, the bark of which I'm holding in my hand. And this specific bark is astringent, extremely astringent. Whenever we think about astringing, it's squeezing, tightening. This specific herb is known in Ayurveda as rich with tannins and alkaloids. The pores of the skin naturally, gently have to be squeezed to get the secretions out. It may be the fat, sebaceous secretions, or it may be even the sweat secretions that are there. You may wonder what this secretion is all about. See, the skin on the face has the highest amount of blood supply compared to rest of the body. If you want to check anatomically, the face has the highest amount of blood supply, blood vessels coming. If these blood vessels are not facilitated to open and flow, especially in the spring season, then things get stagnant, the skin becomes dull. What Ayurveda says is astringent gently without causing abrasion or irritation. Lodra can do that for us. This healthy mask not only has, that is Lodra as the ingredient, but it also has licorice. Licorice, as this finishes the process of cleansing, it improves microcirculation. That is important for us. The skin looks radiant and glowing when we have great microcirculation. So licorice is also one of the ingredients. Of course, we have rose petal powder, which is also astringent. So some of these great ingredients that we have. So rose petal powder is like the boon to our skin during spring and summer. It's not only aromatic, but it is transforming. We need a transforming herb. Think about rose. The rose has petals that are aromatic. The petals are comparable to gentle cleansing on the skin. It not only astringes, as the microcirculation improves, it helps to tonify the skin. We have the rose petal powder, we have Lodra, we also have the licorice that is one of the ingredients in this season for skin. Of course, I have combined some more secret ingredients. Use this spring season and think about how your skin glows and with a gentle detox. Now, as I move on from the skin, there is another organ that we need to protect in the spring season. That is lungs, including throat, nasal passages. How many of us have these ongoing allergies, ongoing sore throat, sinus congestion every spring? That's because this mucus that is generated during spring season has a special affinity towards our lung and nasal passage. So I have 2-star, herbal powders here. These are mixed and formulated by great sages of Himalayas. Hundreds of years ago, they knew how important the lungs are in terms of keeping our energy, keeping our heart health, and more importantly, sleep and brain health. So lungs need to be really healthy in the spring season. I have Talisadi and have Sitopaladi. Talisadi helps breaking away sticky, unresolved mucus. It helps to break it down and then digest it. So that's Talisadi powder. And Sitopaladi helps with the throat, helps with the dryness in the nose or in the throat. So these two can be combined or can be used individually, especially for those kiddos out there who will have the soccer games. They come back after soccer games. Oh, I don't feel well. My nose is congested. Please give them this in honey. They'll love it. It's like a candy. It is so helpful for them to breathe better and have a better immune system that would protect their lungs and then the nasal passages. Try out this spring season. Start with maybe 3 weeks. The Sitapaladi and Talisadi, just a small amount with honey. Every day as a routine, you can take once or twice a day. You see the difference. And now you know me. I am Vaidya Jay here at my Ayurvedic center in Long Beach, California. I am your Ayurvedic guy, and I am here to help you and get empowered with the Ayurvedic knowledge and with Ayurvedic products from Atreya Herbs, which I'm the founder. Please do ask us questions. Let's build this community of people who are robust and long living. If you like to have one-on-one with me in my practice, please come to Atreya Ayurvedic Integrative Health Center, Long Beach, California. Namaste.